As I have told you that in this lecture we are basically going to discuss the ossification of the clavicle, and then we will discuss important clinical anatomy of the clavicle bone. So ossification basically usually start in 5th and 6th week of the embryonic life. So ossification of the clavicle start fifth, 6th week of embryonic life, and ossification usually takes place through medial and lateral primary ossification centers. Through medial and lateral primary ossification centers. Through medial and lateral primary ossification centers, and this is a basically which type of ossification? This is the intramembranous ossification. So remember, the ossification of the clavicle usually start in 5th, 6th week of the gestational life and through intramembranous ossification. And there are two ossification centers, medial and lateral ossification centers. Medial and lateral, which are present close together in the shaft of the clavicle. Shaft, or this is also called as diaphysis. This is also called as shaft or diaphysis. So write this important information that clavicle ossification usually start in 5th, 6th week of the gestational life, and then through which type of ossification? Through intramembranous ossification. And these ossification centers are medial and lateral primary ossification center, which are close together in the shaft of the clavicle. First important information. The next thing, that ends of the clavicle, ends, whether this is your sternal end or this is your acromial end. On the lateral side, as you can see, this is clavicle is fixed with the acromion process with the help of the acromioclavicular ligament. Here it's attached with the sternum with the help of the sternoclavicular ligament. But this end, the sternal end and the acromial end of the clavicle, it's basically ossified through the endochondral ossification. So remember the difference, that the shaft is through the intramembranous, medial and lateral primary ossification centers, but the ends of the clavicle undergo endochondral ossification. Very important information. And this is the only bone, only long bone which is horizontally placed. And then next, and this is the only bone which connect basically your appendicular skeleton to the axial skeleton also. So this is the key bone also. And the next important information that you have to add in your notes, as I have told you about the primary ossification center, next write a secondary ossification center of the clavicle. The secondary ossification center of the clavicle, the secondary ossification center of the clavicle appears at sternal end. Appears at sternal end. The secondary ossification center. Secondary ossification center of clavicle appears at sternal end. And what is basically the purpose of this secondary ossification center? That this secondary ossification center help in formation of epiphysis, help in formation of epiphysis, and this epiphysis will fuse with the diaphysis of the clavicle, meet with the shaft or diaphysis. So a secondary ossification center which appears at the sternal end will help in formation of the epiphysis or the epiphyseal plate, and this epiphysis or epiphyseal plate will meet the shaft or diaphysis by age of, this is very important, by age of 18-25 years, and it will completely ossify by the age of 31 years. And this epiphysis will completely ossify to the diaphysis by the age of 31 years. So remember, the first bone which basically ossify is the clavicle, but its epiphysis is the only long bone which epiphysis completely ossified by age of 31 years. So remember this important point also, please. So epiphysis will completely ossify by age of 31 years through the secondary ossification center. Next, write that basically clavicle is the most commonly fractured bone in human body, and fractures of the clavicle, as you can see in this picture, that fracture of the clavicle are common from middle one third. So another important information, this is the most commonly fractured bone, but which side is the most prone to the fracture? The middle one third, this part. So because this is the exposed, here you can feel your clavicle bone, this is the exposed part of the clavicle here, this is the exposed part, and on this middle part you have only skin and the facial covering, but on the lateral side you have got rotator cuff muscle, deltoid muscle, and then acromioclavicular ligament, other ligaments also. So this is present deeper inside, and on the medial side you have got the sternoclavicular ligament, these muscles covering also, but the middle part, which is the exposed part, this is basically vulnerable part of the clavicle, and this is the most commonly fractured side of the clavicle. Another reason, because I have told you that medial and lateral primary ossification centers which are present in shaft, they meet each other, and ends also having basically endochondral ossification centers, but this part, because it didn't have basically the specific ossification center, that's why this is also the weakest part of the clavicle. So this is the common fractured site of the clavicle. Next important point you have to write that basically clavicle, if the medial and lateral ossification centers are the primary or secondary ossification center, they will not fuse each other. So you may suspect it resembles like a fracture of the clavicle, but it will present usually bilateral. So if write this important clinical point, if medial plus lateral are primary plus secondary ossification centers, not fully fuse, it resembles as fracture of clavicle, but it's usually present bilateral, not unilateral. It's usually present bilateral. Next, another very important structure. Here you can see the attachment of the muscles to the clavicle. Basically, the important muscle which attach to the middle end of the clavicle, that is the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and here on anterior side, here you can see the attachment of the pectoralis major muscle also. These are the basically roots of the brachial plexus. Here you can see the roots of the brachial plexus. This is your sternocleidomastoid muscle. In case of the fracture of the clavicle, this medial portion will be elevated. Here you can see elevation of this middle part. Why? Because of the attachment with the firm attachment with the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and then humerus will be medially rotated. Inward movement of the humerus in case of the fracture of the clavicle, because of the strong attachment with the pectoralis major muscle. So remember, anything related to the clavicle, whether this is the ossification, whether this is the attachment of the muscles or the ligaments of the clavicle, this is very important to understand. and you may have at least one question relating the clavicle fractures, clavicle ossification. This is important bone, and this is important bone of your body, and this is also called as collar bone or the beauty bone. I hope this lecture was helpful. See you next video lecture. Take care. Thank you.